Oh, the music's a little bit loud. Hopefully that's a little bit better. But we're testing out a little transition here. How smooth was that? Am I right? Oh, I'm missing. I'm not here. Sorry, the Windows XP has covered me. There we are. There I am. Hello. Hello one, hello all. I'm just gonna put the chat up here too in case people want to type some stuff. But yes, hello. Hello. It is time for the stream. It is time to read the worst goddamn creepypastas you've ever seen on the internet. Some of them including such classics as, we'll pause the Unreal Tournament music. I feel like that doesn't really fit what we're doing here. We'll skip straight to the creepypasting. I'll find a nice ambient track for us, I think. Something befitting of these spooky stories we're going to read tonight. Like Sonic EXE and who could forget heckin' Jeff the Killer? Remember that guy? Remember that guy when you were 8 years old and you thought that was the pinnacle of horror? Yeah, he's back. It was his it's not good. I reread it actually because I was like, oh, I should revisit some old creepypastas to, prepare for the stream. Yeah, because that's what I should do. I should probably be prepared. I read Jeff the Killer. Big mistake. Do not go back and read the things you thought were very good at the ripe age of 13. Chances are they are not going to be good. They won't still be good. They won't still be good, I guess, is a better way of putting it. But what's this? We'll do Zero Futurism. They're good. I like them. Hold on. Aha! Yes, for free use with indication of authorship. Gotta love Zero Futurism for that. He makes some really killer ambient tracks. Let me just quickly turn it up so you guys can hear it. And get our little guest star for the night ready for the stream. Hold on. I'm trying to move the chair very slowly, because if I don't, he will run away. I'm also turning my light off here. But hold on, let me pop the chat out here. Let's see if we can make this work. Oh no! Oh, hold on. There's 3 things that I must move up in priority. Our boy. Oh, that's not him at all. This is him. Dorian Gray. He has made an appearance for the stream. He's going to be my reading buddy for the night. So, as you can see, I mean, every like horror reader has to have his familiar, right? He's just my dark wizard familiar. He's a cat that's afraid of absolutely fucking everything. But you know, it is what it is. You get stuck with who you get stuck with. Put it that way. Put it that way. But you know what? Let's start off strong. Let's start off strong. Let me bring up my list of bad creepypastas. Bad creepypastas. Where did I put that note? Somewhere. Oh! Food Fight. Food Fight was one that was pretty bad. Food Fight, not a good one. I can't remember exactly what it was about, but I remember that even when I was a teenager, I didn't think that Food Fight was very good. So I feel like that's very telling about the content of the story. Search results for Food Fight. Nothing. Maybe it was called something else. It's my old man memory failing me. Hold on. Okay. Maybe I can find it on the Creepypasta wiki. That's what I want. A food fight creepypasta. Copy link address. And we're just gonna... Oh, this is a troll pasta. I see. Does it still appear on screen properly? Well, this will be a short one. You know, it's short but sweet, as they say. Let me get my reading voice on. I gotta crack open my Coke Zero. I hope you're settling in wherever you are. It's Sunday night, 7 p.m. on a Sunday night. Kinda cold. But that's just November for ya. But first up on the menu, we have a food fight creepypasta. Have you ever heard the... Wait, heard's misspelled? Oh, we're already off to a very strong start. Okay. Have you ever heard of the movie Food Fight? It's a movie about food mascots fighting evil mascots, trying to kill them. Anyway, onto the story. I on a walk when I found a copy of Food Fight. This guy writes like a caveman speaks. That's how you know it's going to be good. The fucking umbongo here writing out his prose. This actually, they found this creepypasta written in cave etchings, believe it or not. But I should probably stop ragging on it and continue. Oh, hello, the Phantom Warrior. Jesus Heavens Christ, not that movie. See, I was about to say, I wonder if there's anyone in the chat who recognizes Food Fight. That's a movie. That's a movie, man. Oh, man, yeah, Food Fight. I actually, after watching the JonTron video back in 2015, when I was in university, I immediately went and I watched the movie. So, but anyways, I'm getting too caught up. I should keep reading. But thank you for your chat, Phantom Warrior. Welcome. Good evening. All right, where was I? The cover had the title written. Oh my. Okay, this guy must be trolling with how poorly he's spelling. The cover had the title written in blood, or in a blood-like substance. There was nothing on the spine, and the back just says, "Plie me." So I went home and did that. The menu had Twinkie the Kid having a bite taken out of him with blood pouring out. Carly the Sun-Kissed Tuna turned into sushi. You can tell by the sushi being blue and his hat being next to it. The Vlastic Stork with his wings ripped out. Oh my god! Dude, whoever wrote this hates the Vlastic Stork. What did he ever do to you? His wings get ripped out? What the fuck, man? Hello, I am 48. You know what? Hold on. Let me read your chat in my dramatic reading voice. Hello, M40-year man from Somalia. Sorry for my bed, England. That's like Dave England's cousin, Bed England. Anyways, so the Vlastic Stork got his wings ripped out, and Miss Buttersworth completely empty and having no syrup. Oh, that's actually kind of creative. So she bled out. Okay. I was feeling uneasy. The only option was play, so I clicked it. It didn't start with an establishing shot at the duper market, like usual, but rather with Dex Dogtective and Daredevil Dan passing with bunch of corpses. What I am trying to decipher what he meant at the end of that. I think he means they walked past a bunch of corpses. I don't know. After a while, Lady X appeared in front of them and killed them. I was mortified. I ejected the movie before it could finish. I tried to destroy the movie, but before I could, I felt something holding me back. When I turned around and I saw a hyper-realistic Lady X, she hit me with a bottle of Rand X. I can't with this. She hit me with a bottle of Rand X, and she told me to finish watching. Okay. I put it back in and continued watching. It showed Brand X killing iconic mascots like Chester Cheetah, Pepsi Man. No, dude, not Pepsi Man. Oh, fuck. Oh, we're really fucked if Pepsi Man's dead. And the Hamburger Helper Hand. Oh, dude, what'd the Hamburger Helper Hand ever do to you? Oh, fuck. This is horrible. One by one. And the credits started rolling. Lady X turned of my TV, and she hit me once again, then left. She just fucking hit on one last time and just dipped the fuck out. I shoved the disc in the garbage disposal. Oh, why? Why is that your go-to? Just curious. What's the thought process here? Okay. I need a breath before this one. After that, I went to bed, and I lived happily ever after. Second. What the fuck? That was actually pretty good. I think if I had to rate this one, this is definitely one that is so bad it's fun. There's a certain level of delight that comes with that comes with this. Okay, yeah, no, this is so bad it's funny. And don't worry, Phantom Warrior, I did not get an aneurysm from reading that, but that was pretty fun. That was pretty fun. So now back to Creepypasta. What's another one we can do? Sonic EXE is another one I wanted to do. Oh, not Food Fight. Sonic.exe. Alright, take a sip of the old drink. Gotta keep the throat moist. You know, it's like watering a plant. Sonic.exe, written by JC the Hyena. Presented by Creepypasta. Okay. Oh, dude, September 3rd, 2013. Do you know how old I was in 2013? I was 16. Feels like a fucking 100 years ago. But, enough being sad about being older now. On to the story. Ooh, look at that spooky art. Dude, I remember, I mean, I guess I didn't read this on Windows XP. I feel like Windows XP might have been the wrong aesthetic for this. But, the kids don't know the difference. The kids, it's true. It's true. The kids, they don't know the difference. They don't know, they don't appreciate the past. Oh, hold on. I need to adjust my display. I gotta have it be immersive. You can't see the browser above. That destroys the immersion. What the fuck? Okay, there we go. Oh! Oh no! Shit. Hold on, let me... Pay no mind to the display that is poking out from behind the PNG. Pay no mind. While how do I filter? Effect filters. Is there a crop? Yes, there is a crop. So we're just going to crop the right just a little bit, just a hair. Just gonna get that out of there. Get that out of there. You see it slowly fading away. Slowly, pretty soon, you won't even have noticed my display capture peeking out. There we go. Ooh, what's that? What do you mean, what's that? I didn't see anything at all. And if you're new to the stream, you didn't see anything either. You saw absolutely nothing. There's only quality creepypastas being read tonight. That's all that's happening. All right, estimated reading time, 18 minutes. Oh, this is a bit of a long one. Oh, must have been your schizophrenia. Yeah, man, take your meds. Take your meds, man. That's a sign. You're hallucinating. You're crazy. You're crazy, man. That's crazy. But I digress. Sonic.exe. Oh, I might have to. We'll hit the old puffer for this one. The winter air has been wreaking a bit of havoc on my lungs lately. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The chat does not mesh well with Dorian. We'll just take that off. We'll take that off. And we're gonna resize the nuts cleaned. Or actually, we'll undo that. The chat is just going to go under nuts cleaned. The chat, YT, no, under the video capture. Oh, wow, that text is very black. Not in like a racist way, but just yeah, that I definitely made. I made the stroke way too big. Oh well, I guess we won't have chat up on the screen. Hold on, give me a sec to fix that. That's kind of funny that I did it that poorly. Oh man, yeah, that's I didn't think that I didn't think that when I overlays. Okay, hold on. Let me just go to my YouTube chat. I'm going to turn the stroke down. Sorry, that sounds concerning out of context. The stroke being like the size of the black outline that goes through the text. So we'll see next time you type something. Oh, hello TQ. How are you doing? How are you doing? YouTube autoplayed you here. Nice. It's taken me. You know what? Autoplay is a one-way ticket to Dead Bro Town, especially when there's videos with Parappa the Rappa on a cross. You know, many people don't know this, but Parappa the Rappa died for our sins. He did. He died for them. That's why they crucified him. They crucified Parappa the Rappa. Can you believe that? Chat YT. Hold on. We'll put the stroke up to 2.5. We'll try 2.5 times stroke. Stroking out twice and a half. But let's get to reading Sonic EXE. You've come in at the perfect time, TQ. You've come in at the perfect time. For it is time for Sonic.exe, one of the shittiest, probably most well-known shitty creepypastas. So, what drugs have I taken today? Absolutely none, other than the drug that is nostalgia. And the endorphins of having gone to the gym. But that's it. Parappa never got to make out with that dumb flower. God damn. Well, you know what? Poor Parappa. Can we get an F for Parappa? F for Parappa. I can't believe they crucified him. I can't believe they fucking crucified Parappa. Hold on. People in the chat might not... Well, actually, you know what? Parappa... Well, hold on. I'm going to name this image Parappa Christ. Because he's very much like Jesus. He's on the cross. Like a prayer. You ever listen to Madonna, Like a Prayer? Oh, hold on. I'm going to have to find that image again. Crucified Parappa. Hold on. Where did I fucking... Oh my god. Maybe I won't be able to bring up Crucified Parappa, but I can at least bring up the thumb. I'll bring up the thumb so that you know what I'm talking about. There we go. So this is what I'm talking about. Today's thumbnail. Parappa died on the fucking cross for our sins. Can everyone take a moment of silence to appreciate Parappa the Rappa and how he was crucified, how he was persecuted by evil Sonic the Hedgehog for simply existing? I will never forget you, Parappa the Rappa. You live forever in my heart, at least. Anyways, time to read Sonic TXE. Okay. For you, gaming is about escape. When you push the button on the console, switch the PC on, you are switching the real world off and escaping somewhere else for a while. Okay, I see this guy thinks he's deep. I see he thinks he's quite deep. Yeah, that's an accurate assessment that he thinks he's a deep guy. Okay. Recently, the primary colors and flat backgrounds of retro games have been your escape. Sure, the graphics are virtually primitive and the plinky-plonk music can be infuriating. Okay. Okay, if you're going to... This is... To anyone listening who plans on writing horror, do not write something that is supposed to be horror and then include the words plinky plonk in them. So let's... just don't. So, the plinky plonk music can be infuriating. But there's something about the simplicity, the fullness of characters, and the amazing gameplay of those games that really appeals. Until, that is, one of those games full of bright sunshine days suddenly turns dark. I don't know if I'd describe... He's describing Sonic like a life-changing experience. Until one of your favorite characters fills the screen, but instead of offering his usual wide smile and mischievous eyes, he instead offers you emptiness, terror, and the dark, hollow void of empty sockets that leak some awful fluid. Ooh, that's not too bad. That's not bad. See, this guy can be okay when he wants to be. The music fades. The eyeless face glares out, and you realize, far too late, you're in his world now. Ooh, Arnar, evil Sonic. That's basically the summary of this story. I don't know why it's doing this, though. I don't know why they're, like, setting it up like this. I don't know why they feel the need to. Okay. Overview. I'm not reading the overview. We're reading the Sonic the Hedgehog, the Creepypasta. I didn't realize, is this, like... Have they added, like, an official intro? Wait, hold on. You're fucking kidding me. Sonic.exe has a 7.9 out of 10. What the fuck is wrong with people, man? Creepypasta, do better. Jesus. Okay, but the story itself. I'm a total Sonic the Hedgehog fan, much like everyone else. I like the newer games, but I don't mind playing the classics. I don't think I've ever played glitchy or hacked games before, though I don't think I want to play any after the experience I had. It started on a nice summer afternoon. I was playing Sonic Unleashed. Ooh, that's actually a good game, and you can tell that whoever wrote this is an unironic Sonic the Hedgehog fan, because he specifies that he was playing Sonic Unleashed, and he puts in brackets in his story, I liked how you get to explore the towns in it. Which is that's kind of cute. That's kind of cute. Not great writing, but that's cute. Until I noticed, out of my peripheral vision, that the mailman had arrived and put something in my mailbox as usual, and left. I paused my game to see what I got in the mail. The only thing in the mailbox was a CD case for computers and a note. I took it inside. I looked at the note first and realized it was from my dear friend Kyle. Let's just call him that. Whom I hadn't heard from in 2 weeks. I know that because I recognized his handwriting. Though what was weird is how it looked. It looked badly written and scratchy, and somewhat difficult to read, as if Kyle was having a hard time writing it down and did it in a hurry. This is what he wrote. I can't take it anymore. I had to get rid of this thing somehow, before it was too late. And I was hoping you'd do it for me. I can't do it. He's after me. And if you don't destroy the CD, he'll come after you too. He's too fast for me. Please, Tom, destroy this godforsaken disc before he comes after you too. It's too late for me. Ooh. Man, I need more water. Oh, we are out here sipping. Destroy the disc and you'll destroy him. But do it quick, otherwise he'll catch you. Don't even play the games. It's what he wants. Just destroy it. Is this a fanfic? It kind of is. It's like a I don't know if you've read the like haunted video game tropes online. Please, Kyle. Well, that was certainly weird. Even though Kyle is my best friend and I haven't seen him in 2 weeks, I didn't do what he asked me. Okay, so we're suffering from horror movie decisions here, I see. I didn't think that a simple gaming disc would do anything bad to him. After all, it's just a game, right? Boy, was I wrong about that. Anyway, I looked at the disc and it looked like any other ordinary computer CDR disc, except it had black marker on it, written sonic.exe. Dun-dun! And it was much unlike Kyle's handwriting, meaning that he must have gotten it from someone else, or a pawn shop, or eBay. When I saw Sonic on the writing of that CD, I was actually excited and wanted to play it, since I'm a big Sonic fan. I went up to my room and I turned on my computer and I put the disc in and installed the game. When the title screen popped up, I noticed it was the first Sonic game. I was like, awesome! Because, like I said earlier, I like the classics. The first thing I noticed was that I was out of place when I pressed start. There was a split second when I saw the title image turned into something much different. Something that I now consider horrifying, before cutting to black. Dun-dun. Yeah, I was gonna say, that is the cliche moment where they're just like, what if I just, this, like, dire warning, I know that seems like it's pretty serious, but, like, what if I just, what if I ignored it? What if I just did that? What if I ignored it? What if we forgot about it? I remember what the image looked like in that split second before the game cut to black. The sky had darkened, the title emblem was rusted and ruined, the Sega 1991 was now Sega 666, and the water had turned red, like blood. Oh, and here's the line. Here's the line. Here's the line you get in every video game copypasta. Or I guess creepypasta. Like blood, except it looked hyper-realistic. I don't know what Creepypasta's obsession is with hyper-realistic blood. That's in every single, like, haunted video game creepypasta. It's like, and then the blood was hyper-realistic. Hyper-realistic blood. I don't know, it's stupid. But the freakiest thing that was in that split-second frame was Sonic. His eyes were pitch black and bleeding, with 2 glowing red dots staring right at me, and his smile had stretched wider, up to the edge of his face. I was rather disturbed about that image when I saw it, though I figured it was just a glitch, and forgot about it. After it cut to black, it stayed like that for about 10 seconds or so, and then another weird thing happened. The save file select from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 popped up, and I was like, WTF? What's this doing in the first Sonic game? Okay, yeah, this guy, definitely, he is a Sonic enjoyer if he is making the character specifically say, I noticed something else that was off. I noticed that was the Sonic the Hedgehog 3 menu that popped up, and not the one from Sonic the Hedgehog 1. What is up with that? What is up with that, Mr. Haunted Sonic game? Thought you could sneak that one past me. Okay. Oh. Anyway, then I noticed something off. The background was the dark, cloudy sky of the Bad Stardust Speedway level from Sonic CD. Oh my god, he's getting so specific. And there were only 3 save files. The music was that creepy Caverns of Winter music from Earthbound, only it was extended and seemed to have been in reverse. Ooh, we've got the reverse music, guys. And the image for the save file where you see a preview of the level you're on is just red static for all 3 files. What freaked me out more was the character select. It showed only Tails, Knuckles, and to my surprise, Dr. Robotnik. I'm sure that something was up. I mean, how can you play as Robotnik in a classic Sonic game, for crying out loud? That was when I realized this wasn't a glitchy game. It was a hacked game. Arnar. That's when yeah, it definitely looked hacked. It was really creepy, but as a smart gamer, we got a smart gamer in the room, guys. Whoa, watch out, everyone. Whoa, we got a smart gamer here. Such a stupid thing to say. Okay, I wasn't scared, or at least I tried not to be. I told myself that it was just a hacked game, and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyways, shaking off the creeped out feeling, I picked file 1 and chose Tails when I selected and got started. The game froze for about 5 seconds and I heard a creepy, pixelated laugh that sounded an awful lot like that Kefka guy from Final Fantasy before cutting to black. This guy's making so many specific, old retro video game references. This guy... Sorry, man, the tism is leaking a little bit. Okay. It's fine to be obsessed, it's fine to have passions, but what I'm saying is don't let the tism leak through into the prose. Just don't make it so obvious. You get good at covering up if you work on it. Trust me, I have. The screen stayed black for about 10 seconds or more. Then it showed the typical level title thing, except the simplistic shapes were different shades of red, and the text showed only Hill Act 1. The screen faded in, and the level title vanished, revealing Tails in the Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1. The music was different, though. It sounded like a peaceful melody in reverse. Anyway, I started playing and had Tails start running like you would in any of the classic Sonic games, which was odd. Or what was odd was that as Tails was running along the level, there was nothing but flat ground and a few trees for 5 minutes. That was when the peaceful music started to lower down into deep tones very slowly as I kept going. Suddenly, I saw something, and I stopped to see what it was. It was one of the small animals lying dead on the ground, bleeding. That was when the music started to slow down. Tails had a shocked and saddened look on his face that I never saw him have before. So I had him move along, and he kept that worried look in his face. Time for another quick sippy break to break the prose. As he kept moving, I saw more dead animals as Tails moved past them, looking more and more worried. As the music lowers and he moves past more dead animals. Okay, so we've had the 3 times we've mentioned the dead animals. I feel like that's overdoing it. You move on after the first. I'm criticizing. I'm really ragging on this creator. I'm sorry. This isn't bad. Okay, it's bad. It's bad. I'll just be honest. But it's fun bad. As he kept moving, I saw more dead animals as Tails moved past them, looking more and more worried as the music lowers and he moves past more dead animals. All I'm trying to say is there's a quicker way you could have said that, right? I was shocked to see how they all died. They looked like somebody killed them in rather gruesome ways. Oh boy, we're gonna go to a listicle now. A squirrel was hanged on a tree with what appeared to be his entrails hanging out. Ooh. A bunny had all 4 of his limbs torn off, and a duck had his eyes gouged out and his throat slit. What the fuck? I forgot that creepypastas thought that scary equals like going way overboard with the violence for no reason. Not to say that you can't have gore and horror, of course you can, but when it's violence just for violence's sake or to be like edgy, it doesn't add anything. Or just leave more to the imagination, right? That can be equally as horrifying. This author did none of that. Okay, after a few more seconds, there were no more animals, and the music seemed to have stopped. Wait, I felt sick to my... Sorry, I missed a bit. I felt sick to my stomach when I saw this massacre, and apparently so did Tails. After a few more seconds, there were no more animals, and the music seemed to have stopped. I still kept Tails to continue. After a minute passed, after the music stopped, Tails was running up a hill, and then he stopped. It wasn't until I saw why. Sonic was there, on the other side of the screen, with his back against Tails, with his eyes closed. What? I mean, I think he means facing away. Okay. Tails looked happy to see Sonic, but then his smile faltered, obviously noticing that Sonic wasn't responding to him, if not acting as if he was totally oblivious of Tails' presence. Tails walked slowly towards Sonic, and I noticed that I wasn't even moving my keyboard to make him move. So this had to have been a cutscene. This guy just outed himself for using an emulator. Nintendo, repossess his nuts. Suddenly, I began to have a growing feel of dread as Tails walked closer to Sonic to get his attention. I felt that Tails was in danger and something bad was going to happen. I heard faint static growing louder as Tails was but inches away from Sonic, and stopped and stuck his hand out to touch him. That foreboding feeling in my gut was growing stronger, and I felt the urge to tell Tails to get away from Sonic as the static grew louder. Suddenly, in a split second, I saw Sonic's eyes open, and they were black. Well, that's kind of racist, with those red glowing dots. Just like that little image, though there wasn't a smile. When that happened, the screen turned black and the static sound was off. It stayed black for about 7 seconds, and then white text appeared forming a message saying, "Hello, do you want to play with me?" At this point, I was creeped out. I didn't want to continue with the game, but my curiosity got the better of me when I was taken to a different level, with the level title now saying, "Hide and Seek." This time, I was in the Angel Island level from Sonic 3, and it looked like everything was on fire. Tails looked as though he was scared out of his wits this time. He actually looked at me and made frantic gestures to me as if he wanted to get out of the area he was in as fast as possible. I was starting to get freaked out by this. I mean, Tails was actually breaking the fourth wall, trying to tell me to get him out of there. So I pressed down on the arrow key as hard as I could and made him run as fast as he could. A pixelated version of that creepy theme from when you meet Shadow at the Ark as Robotnik from SA2, that's Sonic Adventure 2 for those of you who are uninitiated, was playing as I made Tails trek through the desolate forest, trying to help him escape from whatever he was trying to run from. Suddenly, I heard that creepy laugh again. That awful Kefka laugh. Right after 10 seconds have passed as I helped Tails run through the forest, and then I started seeing flashes of Sonic popping everywhere on the screen. Again, with those black and red eyes. The music changed to that suspenseful drowning jingle as I see Sonic behind Tails slowly gaining up on him. Flying. Sonic wasn't running. He was actually flying. The flying pose his sprite was making looked very similar to Metal Sonic's flying pose in Sonic CD. Except it was just Sonic, and he had the black and red eyes again. Only. This time, he had the most deranged-looking grin on his face. He looked as though he was enjoying the torment he was giving the poor little fox as he gained upon him. Suddenly, when Tails tripped, another cutscene, the music stopped and Sonic vanished. Tails laid there and started crying for 15 seconds. The scene was rather upsetting to watch, and I kind of teared up myself. But then Sonic appeared right in front of Tails, and Tails looked up in horror. Blood started to come down those blackened eyes of Sonic's as a grin slowly grew from his face as he looked down at the horrified fox. I could do nothing but watch. Just in a split second, Sonic lunged at Tails right before the screen went black. There was a loud screeching noise that only lasted 5 seconds. This guy is very specific with his timing. It comes across as a little bit stilted, but I think it's funny. I think it's funny that he keeps saying exactly how long things take. This guy's precise. Get this guy to measure me some lumber. The text returned, only this time it said, "You're too slow. Want to try again?" And that god-awful laugh came with it. Hold on. Put on probably the longest insult. Let me look at this. How long is the longest insult? Oh, sir, the insult simulator. Interesting. What is this?
Will reincarnate as a pigeon.
Hold on. We're gonna... we'll out that tab. We'll bring that over here. Why not throw that on? Why not? Why not? Why not? This is by Mr. Floofs as of 3 years ago. What is this? We're gonna pause the SCP music and let me put this on. What is this?
Your father and your wife will reincarnate as a pigeon and will disembowel you and the Nazis. Smell of Crotchy the giant scrotum and your mother is worthless and your son died because of your sister and your mother is gonna burst with piss and your sister
He just keeps saying
adores elderberries and your son dances like your mother and you died because of a lumberjack and your sense of style looks like your favorite Bond actor and your son found a new application for a cat spot and
I love the fucking thing that pops up that just keeps going family issues. Family issues, thumbs down.
The giant scrotum and
family
your son
issues
died because of
family
your
issues.
sins and your country is feeling a little psychotic this morning and your mother dances like some bloody minger and your sins don't like your father and your wife dances like your mother and a frightened schoolboy has a steaming walk with kebab made of your mother and you pissed on your math teacher and your mother doesn't like
you
your
pissed
father
on your math
and
teacher and your
sins
mother.
will disembowel a hamster and your father admires pictures of kebab made of your mother and your hat was the meaning of life, which seemed intuitive in design docs.
Rude? Just
Ouch.
rude?
Yes.
Holy fuck. Dude, he one-hit God. He straight up one-shotted God. What the fuck? Anyway, speaking of God, and then that god-awful laugh came with it after this guy tripped and fucking fell because he was too slow. I was so shocked by what had happened. Did Sonic murder Tails? No, he couldn't have. He and Tails are supposed to be best friends, right? Why did Sonic do that to him? Okay, we are also suffering from a serious level of horror movie protagonist obliviousness. How the fuck have you not noticed that maybe he's evil? Have we not gone there, brother? Is that too much of a leap for you? I guess so. I shook the shock off as I was brought back to the character select. The save file that had Tails was different. Tails was no longer in the box itself, but in the TV screen itself, which was flickering with that red static. Tails' expression scared me. His eyes were black and bleeding. His orange fur had gone black, and he had an expression of anguish on his face. Trying to ignore it, I picked Knuckles next. Oh, Knuckles is gonna fucking die. Here, let me just unmute the desktop ambience here. There we go. The laugh came again, and the screen cut to black again and stayed there for another 10 seconds. There we are again with the very specific timing. This time the level said, "You can't run." I was really freaked out by now. I couldn't really tell if this was a glitch or a hack or some kind of sick, twisted joke, or anything really. But despite my fear of what happened next, I kept playing. The next level looked much different. It had the ground of the Scrap Brain Zone, but the sky background looked like the main menu. It had the dark, reddish, cloudy sky, but it was the music that creeped me out the most. It sounded like the Gygas theme right after you beat Pokey in Earthbound. Again, with the hyper-specific video game references. I also noticed that Knuckles looked afraid, just as Tails did, though not as much more, rather, he looked a little unnerved. He broke the fourth wall just like Tails and looked as if he wasn't sure about going on. But I made him move anyway. He ran down the straight pathway in this dark level, and as he did, the screen started to flicker, red static, and a couple times... Wait, sorry, I can't read. As he did, the screen started to flicker red static a couple times, and then that maddening laugh came again. Then, after a few seconds of running, I noticed several bloodstains on the metallic ground. I felt a growing sense of fear again, thinking something horrible is going to happen to Knuckles. He looked nauseated, walking down this blood-stained road, but I still kept him going. Suddenly, as Knuckles ran, Sonic appeared right in front of him, with those black and red eyes, and then red static appeared again. Bit of a run-on sentence there. When the static vanished, showing nothing but a black screen with text saying, "Found you," I was now scared. Oh, you had to tell us that explicitly, did ya? Sonic found Knuckles already? What was going on? Anyway, the red static came again, and when I was back to the level, Knuckles looked like he was panicking, and Sonic was nowhere to be found. And this time, that high-pitched squealing from Silent Hill 1's final boss was playing. I mean, okay, so like the music things he's like asking you to imagine in your head are good, but you shouldn't rely on your reader like being aware of a musical cue in order to like understand the atmosphere of your thing. Was this some kind of boss battle with Sonic? I hope to God it wasn't, honestly. Suddenly, Sonic appeared right behind Knuckles in what appeared to be pixelated black smoke. I made Knuckles turn and then punch Sonic, but Sonic vanished in a black pixelated smoke before I could even land a hit. That terrible laugh went off again. Then Sonic appeared behind Knuckles again, and then I made him punch again, and Sonic vanished again, laughing. It's kind of funny. This is... This is written like Half-Life, Full-Life Consequences, kind of. Except that guy, I'm pretty sure, was writing it intentionally. I don't know if this guy intended to write it this, like, shit fuck. Oh, man. And Sonic vanished again, laughing. Knuckles was panicking even more, and even I felt like I was going crazy. Sonic was practically playing with us. He was playing a sick, twisted little mind game with me and Knuckles. I am stealing this. I'm stealing this fucking saying. Anytime I feel like someone's manipulating me, I'm not going to say you're gaslighting me or you're being manipulative. I'm going to say he was playing or you're just playing a sick, twisted little mind game with me and Knuckles. Which it should be Knuckles and I if we're getting grammar police about this. But another cutscene played. Another cutscene. Editing, my friend. played as Knuckles fell to his knees and clutched his head sobbing. I felt his agony. Sonic was actually driving us both crazy. And then, in a split second, Sonic lunged at Knuckles, and the screen went black with another distorted screeching noise that lasted for at least 3 seconds. Oh! This is the first time he hasn't been hyper-specific about the timing. He said, notice, he says, can I highlight this? I can't. Okay. But he says it lasted for at least 3 seconds. He doesn't say that it lasted exactly 3 seconds. Big difference there. Another text message appeared. So many souls to play with, so little time. Would you agree? What the hell? Just what is going on? I started to think Sonic was actually trying to talk to me through the game, but I was too scared to think about that. I was brought back to the main menu, and this time the second file box had Knuckles in the TV screen. His red fur had darkened to a reddish gray. His dreadlocks were dripping with blood, and his eyes were black and bleeding too. And he had a look of sadness on his face. I began to think that those are the actual characters trapped in those TV screens on the save files, but I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. So I shut off the game and took a break. I took a nap. I wish I hadn't, because I then began to have the most disturbing nightmare. I was in pitch black darkness, though I was under the light given off by a lamp that hung high above my head. I could hear the cries of Knuckles and Tails nearby. They were saying stuff like, "Help us. Why did you give us to him?" and "Run away before he gets you too." Advertisements. I feel like I wasn't supposed to read that part aloud. Their cries dried out. Wait, dried? Their cries dried out? That's me being stupid. Their cries died out, and then I heard Sonic laugh. His laugh. It sounded a lot like the distorted Kafka laugh. He's already said that before. He's repeating himself. Psych ward moment. You're a lot of fun to play with, kid. Just like your friend Kyle. Though he didn't last long. I was scared and looking around for the source of the voice. I won't be long now until you join him and all my other friends. I saw him walking towards me, flickering in and out in several directions. You can't run, kid. You're in my world now, just like the others. When he grabbed me and I saw his bleeding, black and red-eyed, grinning face, I woke up with a fright. After a couple of hours, I decided to continue playing the game. I don't know why, but I had to know. I had to figure out why this was happening. So I turned on the computer, turned on the game, and selected Robotnik next. Has he not thought of perhaps doing the thing his friend told him to do, which is just getting rid of the game? Have we not thought of that one? Did we not try that one? Are we not going to try that one? Hello, bird. I don't think I've seen you before. I'm not sure who Bob is. Who's Bob? Tell us, bird. Are you a real bird, or are you one of those, like, federal agent birds? Like the fake birds the government sends to spy on us? Which kind of bird are you? What kind of bird are you? Huh? Tell me. Okay. After a couple of hours, I decided to continue playing the game. I don't know why, but I had to know. I had to figure out why this was happening. So I turned on the computer, turned on the game, and selected Robotnik next. I still thought that was wacky. Again, if you're writing horror, don't say wacky. Don't say shit like that. There is nothing. Okay. I know. Okay. I'm trying not to be too harsh on this guy. I'm trying not to be too harsh on this story because I realize I thought this was good when I was a teenager. I imagine the person who wrote this was a teenager who thought this was good because teenagers think things like this are good. Okay. That's just it. Even though they're absolute dog shit. Okay. But using wacky in horror? Wacky? And then Jason Voorhees pulled out his wacky machete and cut that man's head off. It doesn't. Man, Michael Myers, he's kind of wacky. Oh man, that Freddy Krueger? The fact that he kills you in dreams? That's pretty wacky. It's whimsical horror. It's whimsical horror. What? Welcome to the stream banquet of the Leviathan. What a fucking cursed thing to say. I'm going to ban you immediately. I'm kidding, but whimsical horror? You know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. You've made me see an alternate perspective. Maybe it's not that this guy doesn't know how to write horror, or he's using wacky in horror when you really shouldn't. Maybe he's writing for the whimsical horror genre, and I can't appreciate that. Art the Clown is a waxster. I mean, you're not wrong. But do they ever say that in Terrifier? I don't think so. I don't think they ever directly say that, right? Oh, my goodness. Sorry, I'm trying to find a place to put my headphones because I don't want to just keep holding them. Oh, but back onto Sonic. This time I was in wait, sorry. We're at the wacky part. I still thought that was wacky. Playing as Robotnik. But anyway, the level title appeared again, and this time it said, ... which I found really freaky. I'm not gonna say it again. I'm not gonna keep ragging on this guy. I'm gonna give him a pass for that one. This time I was in some kind of hallway. Didn't really look like it was from any of the classic Sonic games, though it has the pixelated style. The floor was shiny and checkered. The walls were dark grayish purple with animated candlelights and a few dark bloodstains here and there. And there was a dark red curtain hanging above on the top part of the screen. Every 12 seconds or so, that red curtain sways very slowly, but whenever you're playing the game, you can barely see it move. The music was oddly pleasant. A piano playing rather sad yet peaceful songs, or a rather sad yet peaceful song. But I knew better. This was the song that played in Hill Act 1, only it wasn't in reverse. Robotnik didn't look entirely nervous like Tails and Knuckles did, but he did have a suspicious look on his face as if he was just a bit paranoid. He did a little animation when I just left him standing. I can't read. Sorry, guys. Local dyslexic tries to read you bedtime stories. He turns his head to the left and then to the right at least twice and then shrugs at me, as if he has no idea where he was or what was going on. Even though I was scared out of my mind about what was going to happen, I'd Robotnik continue onwards. He did his usual running animation. You know, when you've beaten him at the end of a classic Sonic game and you chase him. As we continued going through the hallway. Then I stop at a long flight of stairs leading downward. Now I was nervous. Even Robotnik seemed unsure of himself, though I pressed onward. As I led Robotnik down the stairs, I noticed the walls had gotten darker and more reddish. The red torches are now an eerie blue. Then we landed onto another hallway. This one was longer than the last one, or at least it felt like it. And then we headed down another flight of stairs. Or, I didn't say it right, but you get the idea. This one was much longer. Took at least 1 full minute. He's getting less specific as we go on. No longer, oh, this is how you can tell he's scared. He's no longer saying, yeah, it lasted exactly 10 seconds. Now he's saying, it took at least a minute. So it's like, as he gets more scared, his descriptions are getting less detailed. I don't know if that was intentional, but if it was, that's kind of a neat way of showing that the main character is getting more scared, like a subtle tell, right? Rather than just saying, I was so scared, showing like he's getting less precise with his timings in the retelling of it. That's kind of neat. It's kind of neat. Points for that, though I'm not entirely sure it was intentional. And then I heard that horrid Kefka laugh again, and then the music slowly faded until it was quiet. As it did, the walls turned more dark red, and the torches were a black flame now. When Robotnik landed on the third hallway, I noticed he now looked really creeped out. though he tried to hide it. I couldn't blame him. I was scared too. Suddenly, Sonic popped right in front of Robotnik the same way he did Knuckles and then red static. The red static lasted for about 15 seconds, and then it showed me a most unpleasant image. Oh, we're about to hit the video game trope again. The image showed a hyper-realistic of Sonic standing in the darkness, where you can only see his face while his head and torso faded into black. And when I say hyper-realistic, I mean he looked so real, you could actually see the lines in his blue fur, as if you could actually feel the fur if you touched the screen. Sorry about the slight audio-ish. I was closing the door. Oh, hold on. Here, I will just be right back here. Give me just a quick moment. Something's come up. I'll just be like 5 seconds. Sorry about that. Oh. Needed to help the girlfriend find something. But we're back. We're back on it. So, I think we were on the hyper-realistic part. The image showed a hyper-realistic of Sonic standing in the darkness where you can only see his face, while his head and torso faded into black. And when I say hyper-realistic, I mean like he looked so real you could actually see the lines in his blue fur, as if you could actually feel the fur if you touched the screen. His face. Oh god. He had the most horrifying smile I had ever seen. Dude, were the creators of the Smile movie inspired by Sonic.exe? Is that possible? And that's saying something considering I saw that image at the start of the game. His eyes are wide and black and once again crying blood, which also looked hyper-realistic. And there were 2 small glowing red dots in those black eyes staring right at me, as if staring into my mind. His grin was wide and demonic. It literally stretched to the sides of his face like a Cheshire cat, except Sonic had fangs. Very sharp fangs. Much like the werehog's teeth, except more vicious looking. There he is on the Sonic Unleashed train again. He cannot stop making the specific video game references. Somewhat yellowish, and from the look of it, he had stains of blood and small bits of flesh on his lips, and fangs, as if he ate some animal. I stared at that gruesome image for a good 30 seconds, never taking my eyes off it. I felt as if he was actually looking at me, smiling at me. That face. It just took 10 seconds for it to etch itself into my brain for good. Then the screen flickered with red static again 3 times, and on the 3rd time I heard the Kefka laugh, except this time it sounded distorted, demonic even. It went back to the image, except this time there was the text again, though it was messed up. But it was pretty much one of the most horrifying things I looked at since I had this game. I am God. It was when I read that message while looking at Sonic when it hit me. I realized right then and there. This Sonic was a monster, a pure evil, sadistic, all-powerful, nightmarish, demented monster. And all of his victims included Tails, Knuckles, Robotnik, and possibly Kyle, are just his little toys, and the game is the very gateway into his chaotic, nightmarish world, and the very hell his victims are trapped in. Suddenly, in an actual split second, I screamed as Sonic lunged at the screen, screeching loudly, with his mouth wide open to an unnatural length, revealing nothing but a literally spiraling abyss of pure darkness before the red static came again. What is it with independent horror and the mouths just opening unnaturally wide? Why is that always the trope? Then it stopped and showed nothing but a black screen. Advertisements. I forgot Garfadum. Oh no, Garfadum's here. Garfadum's here. Shit, he's just buried under the layers. Sorry, Ken. Here's Garfadum. There he is. He should be there now. He just got buried by the Windows XP layers because I added those in last minute. Don't worry. He's here. He's here now. As I sat there staring at the black screen, one last text came up. Ready for round 2, Tom? The Kefka laugh, now sounding more clear as if Sonic was right behind me, played again 3 times as I looked at that text in shock and confusion. Then I got booted back to the main menu, and this time the 3rd save file had a TV image of Robotnik in the same tormented state as Tails and Knuckles. Robotnik's skin turned a dull gray, his mustache drooped and had blackened. His glasses broke and blood is coming from them. Wait, his blood's coming from his glasses? His glasses are bleeding? His glasses are bleeding? You think the mouth wide open trope is a fetish? I don't know if it's a fetish more so than it's like, I feel like it has a lot to do with people over relying on the uncanny valley, where like stuff that looks like human but like slightly off is scary, like scarier to us. Like the closer it looks to being human with that, while being like slightly off, the scarier it is. And I think the whole like mouth too big thing is a part of that. Like they're just relying on the uncanny valley for the spook, we'll say. I looked at Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik, and I cried a bit. I pitied them for the agony they're going through. They were forever trapped within the game, forever tormented by that horrid hedgehog, and always will be. Then the computer shut itself off. I couldn't turn it back on no matter what I did. I sat there for maybe 25 seconds, horrified by what had just happened. Sonic is the very embodiment of evil. He tortures people who play his game in more ways than one, and when he gets bored, he drags you into the game. Literally drags you to hell, where he can play with you, as always, as his toy. I can't get the game out of my computer. I think it's stuck in there, but I at least managed to turn it back on now. After I sat there for 25 seconds, I heard a voice right behind me, like a whisper. Try to keep this interesting for me, Tom. I turned around to see where the voice came from, and what I saw made me scream. Sitting on the bed, staring right at me, was a Sonic plushie, smiling with bloodstains under its eyes. Is that it? That's how it ends? It's a plushie? I guess it's supposed to be kind of like a joke ending, isn't it? Like, oh, har har. But I can see why this one's ranked so poorly. That's good, though. That's fun. There were some things that were fun, but overall, the guy used some weird language that kept breaking my immersion. Defaulted to just repeating the same stuff, like a lot of the time, when he could have been a bit more concise sometimes, right? And what else? The specific video game references. The specific video game reference. Why were there so many specific video game references? Why? Oh, goddamn. Let's pick another one. What's another? Oh, Jeff the Killer. We got to do that one. Actually, hold on. I did have Parappa being crucified in my thumbnail. So maybe I should try to find one with Parappa. Wonder if there's one with Parappa. That's funny as fuck. Well, I think that's kind of the point of the ending, is it's supposed to be a little silly. And obviously this isn't a serious work of like art or something. It's something fun someone put on the internet. So always best to take those things a little like lightly. Jeff, not half. Jeff the Killer. What do you mean? What was what? Jeff the Killer? Jeff the Killer reboot. No, that's not what I want. Hold on. Jeff the Killer OC's edition? Jeff the Killer. Oh, sorry. My cat. He's crying. Demands to be let back in. We shall see yet if he goes back up on his throne. You can see his shadow just barely on the bub cam. Just barely. There he is. There he is. There's the boy. Did you hear that? That sound just now? What sound? What do you mean? What sound? I took my meds today. I don't have meds, but... You're trying to gaslight me, Banquet of the Leviathan. I think you're trying to gaslight me. I think I'm being gaslit. Oh. Sorry, I'm going to show you how ridiculous he's being. Look at this little man. This little attention-starved man. Are you just a little man? He says... Yes, I'm your cat, like H.P. Lovecraft's cat. Except don't Google what H.P. Lovecraft's cat's name was. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. Whether it's your house or mine. It might have been like... you also might have heard my cat crying or the door creaking, but... Maybe you have Jeff the Killer in your house. Ever consider that? Maybe you have Jeff the Killer. Huh? Estimated reading time 23 minutes? Why is it so fucking long? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You're scratching me, bub. You're scratching me. All right. You know what? This tab. There we go. We will... We'll read Jeff the Killer. We can't not read Jeff the Killer. Can't not do that. I'd be doing y'all a disservice. This photo scared countless, and I mean countless teenagers. Man, They were terrified of Jeff the Killer. Actually, you know what? Nah, Jeff the Killer is actually kind of well known. Maybe we won't do Jeff the Killer. Let's look at the tags, though. Madness, paranoia, and mental illness, children and childhood, deaths, murders, and disappearances, famous creepypasta, slashers and gore, bullies, bullying, childhood, children, creepypasta classics, deaths, Jeff the Killer, kids, madness, mental illness, murders, revenge, serial killers, Cesar? I don't fucking know. Maybe that's a creator. Slashers, sociopaths, sociopathy, 31 minutes of reading. Damn, 23 minutes. Let me just quickly see if I can find some short creepypastas. You know what? We'll go to famous ones. 1999 creepypasta. Ben Drown's actually a good one. So's Candle Cove. Dead Bart sounds funny. How long is it? Estimated reading time 4 minutes. Okay. We're going to read Dead Bart. Because it sounds stupid. We're going to read Dead Bart. So, you know how Fox has a weird way of counting Simpsons episodes? They refuse to count a couple of them, making the amount of episodes inconsistent. The reason for this is a lost episode from season 1. Finding details about this missing episode is difficult. No one who was working on the show at the time likes to talk about it. From what has been pieced together, the lost episode was written entirely by Matt Groening. During production of the first season, Matt started to act strangely. He was very quiet, seemed nervous, and morbid. Mentioning this to anyone who was present results in them getting very angry, and forbidding you to ever mention it to Matt. The episode's production number was 7G44. The title was Dead Bart. In addition to getting angry, asking anyone who is on the show about this will cause them to do everything they can to stop you from directly communicating with Matt Groening. At a fan event, I managed to follow him after he spoke to the crowd, and eventually had a chance to talk to him alone as he was leaving the building. He didn't seem upset that I had followed him, probably expected a typical encounter with an obsessive fan. When I mentioned the lost episode, though, all color drained from his face and he started trembling. When I asked him if he could tell me any of the details, he sounded like he was on the verge of tears. He grabbed a piece of paper, wrote something on it, and handed it to me. He begged me never to mention the episode again. The piece of paper had a website address on it. I would rather not say what it was, for reasons you'll see in a second. I entered the address into my browser and came straight to a site that was completely black, all except for a line of yellow text, a download link. I clicked on it, and a file started downloading. Once the file was downloaded, my computer went crazy. It was the worst virus I'd ever seen. System restore didn't work. The entire computer had to be rebooted. Before doing this, though, I copied the file onto a CD. I tried to open it on my now empty computer, and as I suspected, there was an episode of The Simpsons on it. The episode started off like any other episode, but had very poor quality animation. If you've seen the original animation for Some Enchanted Evening, it was similar, but less stable. The first act was fairly normal, but the way the characters acted was a little off. Homer seemed angrier. Marge seemed depressed. Lisa seemed anxious. Bart seemed to have a genuine anger and hatred for his parents. See, here we are again. This is just like Sonic.exe. Just describe how the thing is. Don't say it was like this thing, because then if your readers don't know the thing, then they won't be able to identify with it. Oh, look at me on a Sunday night, 9 o'clock, critiquing creepypastas. What does my life come to? All right. The episode was about the Simpsons going on a plane trip. Near the end of the first act, the plane was taking off. Bart was fooling around, as you'd expect. However, as the plane was about 50 feet off the ground, Bart broke a window on the plane and was sucked out. What? That is not where I expected this to go. At the beginning of the series, Matt had an idea that the animated style of The Simpsons would represented life, and that death turned things more realistic. This was used in this episode. The picture of Bart's corpse was barely recognizable. They took full advantage of it not having to move, and they made an almost photorealistic drawing of his dead body. Oh my fucking god, not the photorealistic Bart Simpson. Not the photorealistic... Oh my god, Lois, is that the photorealistic corpse of Bart Simpson in the corner? I like to imagine it's, you know those SpongeBob frames where it goes like unnecessarily detailed, or not unnecessarily, but like hyper detailed for a second, like for a frame, like zooming in on a finger or something. I imagine it doing that, but it's just Bart's corpse after breaking a plane window when they were about 50 feet off the ground. It actually, hold on, can you even get sucked out at 50 feet? Because part of what's sucking you out is like, obviously, you know, you're playing movie fast, but isn't it the pressure difference? What kind of pressure difference would you have at 50 feet that Bart's getting sucked out the fucking window? What the fuck? Act 1 ended with the shot of Bart's corpse. When Act 2 started, Homer, Marge, and Lisa were sitting at their table crying. The crying went on and on. It got more pained and sounded more realistic. Better acting than you would think possible. The animation started to decay even more as they cried. You could hear murmuring in the background. This crying went on for all of Act 2. Act 3 opened with a title card saying 1 year had passed. Homer, Marge, and Lisa were skeletally thin and still sitting at the table. There was no sign of Maggie or the pets. They decided to visit Bart's grave. Springfield was completely deserted, and as they walked to the cemetery, the houses became more and more decrepit. They all looked abandoned. When they got to the grave, Bart's body was just lying in front of his tombstone, looking like it did at the end of Act 1. Oh, scary Homer Simpson. Oh, sorry for the trigger warning. Look at that scary Homer. Oh, he looks like a Slim Jim. He looks kind of like a Slim Jim. I'm kind of hungry. It looks like a Slim Jim. The family started crying again. Eventually, they stopped and just stared at Bart's body. The camera zoomed in on Homer's face. According to summaries, Homer tells a joke at this part, but it isn't audible in the version I saw. You can't tell what Homer is saying. The view zoomed out as the episode came to a close. The tombstones in the background had the names of every Simpsons guest star on them. Some that no one had heard of in 1989. Some that haven't even been on the show yet. All of them had death dates on them. For guests who died since, like Michael Jackson and George Harrison, the dates were when they would actually die. Oh, I threw in a word there, but... You can try to use the tombstone to predict the death of living Simpsons guest stars, but there's something odd about most of the ones who haven't died yet. All of their deaths are listed as the same date. Is there a way to sort by best comics? Or, by best replies? I'm looking at the comments for this one. This was one of the saddest moments in The Simpsons. What did Bart do? I agree with this commenter. What the fuck did Bart do to deserve this? I mean, I guess he kind of does it to himself. It implies he breaks a window at 50 feet and somehow gets sucked out of a fucking plane. Good for him. That'd be difficult. I watched the episode. It's on YouTube. The way the Bart just fucking dies. Oh my god. All those canceled animated series rising from the grave. I wish, now that Fox is owned by Disney, Mickey Mouse is going to have to fight them off. That's what's going to happen. What are some other bad creepypastas? Let's check the troll pasta wiki. A Bug's Life deleted scene? I'm sorry, I need to read this. Okay. Let's see, does that appear just fine? Hold on. God damn. I guess you won't necessarily be able to read this one. Perhaps. Whoop. I guess Opera GX decided to do a little fucky wucky. A little freaky deaky, a little fucky wucky. Oh boy. Hold on, let me get our music back up. Wow. Yeah, it's interesting. Very cool, Opera GX. Very cool. Very cool and good. But maybe if I just move to display capture. Nah, we won't. I can't make the zoom work. Okay. You know what we're gonna do? We are gonna do something very fun. We're gonna do some on the fly. We're going to do some on-the-fly editing here. We're going to have to break the immersion just ever so slightly. I think we will have to break the immersion just ever so slightly. Sadly we will. Actually, let me see if I resize this. Is there any way to... Yeah, I don't know, but we got it. We got it. Hold on, let me just adjust my display capture here for you guys. Give you guys some nice ASMR of me clicking and talking to myself. And what do you mean? I'm definitely not crazy. Why would I be crazy? That's crazy. That's kooky. But this is a Bug's Life deleted scene. Has anyone heard about this old... Actually, you know what? Hold on. Since you can't read this, I'll just put this on the other screen, and I think I have something... Ant from A Bug's Life. Just gonna open. There we go. So we'll do this. Since you can't read along with me, we'll just do this. We'll just do this while I read A Bug's Life deleted scene. Has anyone heard about this old Pixar movie, A Bug's Life? It's a movie with an ant named Flick, who teams up with a team of circus insects to fight a band of evil grasshoppers led by Hopper, an evil, greedy grasshopper who only wants food from the ants. I watched it like a couple years ago, and I pretty much enjoyed it. However, one incident left me shocked for my entire life. In 2007, I found a VHS tape on the ground while I was walking home after a day of swimming practice. It said, "Don't watch Pixar confidential tape." I popped it into my VCR. The tape started with static for 5 minutes. The scene was the near-ending climax of the movie, A Bug's Life, where Hopper cornered Flick into the bird's nest. The scene was violent. An example was Hopper choking Flick with Flick coughing. The bird then sees Hopper doing the dreadful deed. Thinking it is a trick with the Blueberry Scouts inside, Hopper immediately realized and he was shocked. The bird roared at him. But the roar was Godzilla's roar, and it was extremely loud. I turned down the volume, but I could still hear the deafening roar. Hopper screamed as he walked out, but the bird caught him. As Hopper was almost going to die, the bird then stabs him with its beak and carries him to its babies, or to his babies? Somehow, Hopper is still alive and he was screaming for help. Instead of carrying Hopper down, the bird immediately dropped Hopper down to its babies. The screen cuts to black, and I could hear blood-curdling screams. Soon, an image of Hopper appeared on the screen. Hopper was dead. His left eye was a cross, and his other eye was dangling from his socket. His mouth started leaking blood, and his wings were ripped out. One of his arms were ripped out as well. The music playing was Lavender Town from Pokemon Fire Red. Oh my fucking god, not that one. I tried lowering down the volume, but the remote had no batteries. Okay, I feel like that's not supernatural, that's just poor planning. I tried asking for help, but I was alone. The screen turned black and then a message appeared saying, 1995, Pixar Animation Studios. The tape popped out of the VCR and I popped it back in to get some footage. I uploaded footage to YouTube and I ended up selling the tape to eBay. Like the company eBay, not someone on eBay. You sold it to eBay. Where it is out there, somewhere, where someone can now buy and watch this disturbing tape. I can't believe it. You remember this? This is a pretty top tier pasta, though. I do think so. I think it's kind of peak. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I was fucking with my thing to get it back to normal. We're gonna put on the crop pad filter. Don't show again. There we go. Look at that. Perfect thing to read the A Bug's Life. Let's see. Actually, I'm going to see. Are there any more Bug's Life? Are there any more? Are there any more for Bug's Life? It's kind of funny. AB. Where's AB? A Bug's Life. A Bug's Death. Oh, this one's too long. I wanna do some short ones. I wanna get a couple done. What about Anon Herobrine encounter? Okay. Herobrine. We're gonna get Herobrine out for this one. We'll do a couple Herobrine encounters. Hold on, let me zoom in. Get him full screen. Herobrine in MS Paint. There's a creepypasta simply titled Winnie the Pooh. Okay, I'll do the Herobrine one because it's really short, and then I'll do Winnie the Pooh. So, where is this? Anon Herobrine encounter. During a regular Minecraft session in the modded world that renders biomes as biospheres connected by wooden walkways, I randomly saw the message, Herobrine has disconnected. Confused because I was not in multiplayer, I looked around only to find one of the biospheres completely missing, with a blank sign at the end of the walkway. Okay. I was playing Minecraft for about a month after I started and heard of Him from Form a Minecraft song. So I searched around for Him and studied Him. And then I made a world called The Hunt. I started building the house, and to my surprise, it was very good. But a storm was acting up and lightning struck beside my house. Looked as if 20 creepers blew up. Then I asked, is that supposed to happen? And I still don't know. After that, I went to investigate. When I got to the crater, I saw a man just standing there. His eyes were blank, as if he had came from hell. He ran away, and right then I knew it was Herobrine. I had been prepared for this, so I leaped in my minecart and caught up to him. He looked angry. He stopped moving and ran back. Okay, so Herobrine, I feel like he could have just not gone where the railway was and gotten away from him. I feel like he didn't have to run back. I feel like he could have just seen the railway and not run next to it. That's just my opinion, though. I looked towards him, then I walked forward. I noticed this was the unfinished track. I was about to die. I was far from spawn. I was like, oh no, this is the worst day ever. I wondered what Herobrine was going to do to my wolves, and how am I going to get back? Then out of the blue came Herobrine, just standing in the middle of the track. I typed, "Get out of the way, or you too will be killed." But he just stood there, about 7 centimeters away from the side of the cliff. What is with creepypasta writers and incredibly specific measurements in their writing? Seriously. I was about to hit him when he put down 4 obsidian bricks on the track. When I hit it, the cart stopped. I got out to thank him, but he was gone. When I went back, my wolves had bones, which I strictly put away. And then I went to my bedroom to think about this. I saw a sign saying, "Some things are better left alone." Dun dun dun. Herobrine encounter confirmed? The Winnie the Pooh creepypasta. Okay, it's on Trollpasta. You probably can't put the links in directly in from Trollpasta, but here. Let me look up the Winnie the Pooh Trollpasta on Trollpasta. Hold on. Winnie the Pooh. Hold on. Winnie the Pooh creepypasta? Question mark? Winnie the Pooh lost episode? Is that it? Let me know if that's it. Is it sometimes dead is better? Oh, is it like Pet Cemetery but with Winnie the Pooh? That's actually kind of a funny idea. But man, Herobrine's kind of misunderstood based on this. He's a nice guy. He saved that guy's wolves. Like, what the heck? What the heck? Herobrine's a nice dude. Here, I'm going to give you the money shot of Dorian in his chair. There's the little curled boy in all his glory. Okay. But is it... let me know if it's the lost episode, Glimpse of Good. I want to make sure I have the correct one. I'm hoping I do. I think I do. Search the Winnie the Pooh troll pasta. Okay. Let me try. You said it's on the troll pasta wiki, right? Okay. Oh! We've got it. Yeah, this is a short one. Okay, cool. Alright. Let me get nice and relaxed for this one so that I can deliver a good performance. Ever since Noah could walk, he loved exploring. I'd look the other way for a second and turn back to see Noah perched high on the counter, giggling uncontrollably as he reached for the decorative cookie jar. Noah, you know you can't have cookies before dinner. Get down from there. I'd casually make my way to our kitchen counter and set him back to the floor with his toy fire trucks and fighter planes. Wherever you could find trouble, you'd also happen to find Noah. About his 3rd birthday, Noah became infatuated with Winnie the Pooh. I always enjoyed old Pooh Bear myself as a child, and I was glad that my son gained interest in him. Play Pooh! Play Pooh! Noah would shout. He had been watching the same VCR tape of the Adventures of Winnie the Pooh for several months. I watched the same tape as a child, and I felt the overwhelming feeling of nostalgia. It brought back heartwarming memories of my youth. With his 4th birthday arriving, I decided I would try and get a Pooh toy for Noah. I searched Walmart. Nothing. Dollar General? Nothing. Even going to local garage sales? Nothing. Just as my hopes of finding Pooh were diminishing, I came across an old weather-beaten Pooh doll in my basement. I remember this doll. Mom had hidden it for some reason, but I couldn't quite remember why. I know what you may be thinking. I could have just looked on eBay for the Pooh doll. Well, I haven't had tons of money lately. Okay, but you could go to like Walmart or Dollar General. I mean, I guess maybe people on eBay are selling the Pooh doll as like more expensive. That's what I mean. More expansive. Hold on, I realize I actually can't see your chat. I can't see yo chats when I have it set up like this, so I now have it set up so I can see you guys. You don't think fire planes are... Wait, did I say fire planes? Fighter planes, fire engines, and fighter planes. Fire planes would be pretty cool, though. Okay. So... we're getting to the why you couldn't just use eBay. Well, I haven't had tons of money lately. You see, my wife, Joyce, lost a raging battle against ovarian cancer. A bit oddly specific in writing. I feel like it'd be more natural for someone to say just passed after a battle with cancer or something like that, right? They don't get that specific. I was more of a stay-at-home dad, and she a bank clerk at our local bank. Money didn't come easily in the first place, but now without her, I've been working odd jobs around town trying to pay the bills to put food on the table. I crept to Noah's room, quietly cracking the door open, and found him watching the Winnie the Pooh tape once again. He was a whiz with the VCR and had no problems working it. I stepped through the door, with the doll behind my back out of sight. I'm going to give the child an unnecessarily deep voice. "Daddy," he yelled as he ran to me and hugged my legs. Hugged my legs. "I have a surprise for you, Noah." I revealed the bear and Noah jumped with glee. He immediately grabbed the doll from my hands and embraced it, holding it close to his face. "Pooh," he affectionately murmured. I smiled briefly and said, "Happy birthday, son." I left Noah to his new toy and slumped onto the couch. Today was a long day. My eyes started to flutter, and the next thing I knew, I was asleep. Actually, hold on. Let's get Winnie the Pooh in here. Let's get Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh? Not Winnie the Poog. Winnie the Pooh. And then we're going to open... make a new tab. There we go. There's our boy, Winnie the Pooh, on screen. Famous bear, Winnie the Pooh, now on screen. Winnie the Pooh would be poggers. Winnie the Pooh's pretty poggers. You know, I don't know if you know this, but the Pooh in Winnie the Pooh is short for poggers. All right. I smiled briefly and said, "Happy birthday, son." I left Noah to his new toy and slumped onto the couch. Today was a long day. My eyes started to flutter, and next thing I knew, I was asleep. I woke up feeling groggy and disoriented. My alarm clock read 3 a.m. Geez, I was out for a while. I lazily stumbled to the kitchen and poured myself a glass of water. My lips and throat were very dry from the nap. I was taking a sip when I heard something. It was quiet, but loud enough to hear very clearly. I could hear Noah's voice. He seemed distressed. Noah's not the kind of kid to stay up late, always being knocked out cold by at most 10 p.m. I rushed... Wait. Oh, sorry, I'm seeing your message clips of good. You meant when I was saying Winnie the Pooh. But the Pooh explanation works too. That sounds bad out of context. I rushed to Noah's room and swung the door open. His room was very dark and was only illuminated by the TV, which displayed static. I could make out two shapes in the darkness. One was no doubt Noah. There was another shape huddled near him. I crept a little closer. It was the Pooh doll I had got him. I was relieved, but still unsettled by the second voice from earlier. "Noah, who were you talking to?" He looked up at me and smiled. "I was talking to Pooh Bear, Daddy." Must have been hearing things, I suppose. "Get to bed, kiddo. It's way past your bedtime." Noah groaned with displeasure. "Oh," and climbed into bed with the Pooh doll tucked under his arm. The next few days, all Noah could do was play with the doll. He took it everywhere with him, and he continued to stay up late to talk to Pooh Bear. He didn't want to go outside and play anymore. He stayed inside, playing with Pooh non-stop. My curiosity was overwhelming, so after I tucked Noah in, I pulled up a chair near his door and sat. I was going to eavesdrop on their conversation tonight. Seconds turned to minutes, minutes turned to hours, and not a single noise emanated from the room. 2 a.m. rolled around, and I considered calling my weight off. But then I heard something come from the room. It was the familiar pitter-patter of little feet. I paused my breathing to listen. I heard whispering. I could make out a phrase. "Pooh, I'm tired. I want to sleep, Pooh." There was a pause. I could hear the TV playing in the background. Static noises again. Nothing else could be heard. "I wouldn't do that to him, Pooh. I don't want to do that." Noah had distress in his voice. This was against his will. I cracked the door and an unsettling draft hit me like a ton of bricks. The window was open. The TV illuminated Noah's form sitting crisscross in the center of the room, turning away from the window towards me. "Hi, Daddy." Knowing I was caught, I casually walked into the dark room. The Pooh doll was in Noah's arms, held tightly against him. I was so disturbed by the situation that I grabbed Noah and said, "You're going to sleep with me tonight." He reached for the Pooh doll, but it was out of his range. On his arm were bruises, not in the shape of a hand, but in circular forms. "No more Pooh for you tonight." I carried him to my room and tucked him into my covers. I sat in bed and looked at the ceiling. Who was talking to my son? Every kid has imaginary friends, but no one ever had an imaginary bully. I see in chat Glimpse of Good you're mentioning you got Thief. That is a classic game. I never actually played the original Thief, but I played the Thief sequel No, I think it was the threequel. Whatever one was on the Xbox, the original Xbox, Thief Deadly Shadows. So, and that was a good one. Thief is a really good, moody stealth series. Okay. The next morning, I awoke, not to Noah, but an empty bed. I got up and patrolled around the house for Noah. He was sitting neatly on the floor of his room talking to Pooh again. Won't that hurt, Pooh? I strolled in the room. Time to get to the bottom of this. Noah, what has Pooh been asking you? Noah paused and furrowed his brow. I can't tell you. It's a secret. Noah and I were very close, even close for father and son. Why wouldn't he tell me? The rest of the day continued very boringly and nothing of interest occurred. That night, I decided not to eavesdrop like I usually did and went to bed. Faded into darkness and lost consciousness. That is a hell of a way to say you went to sleep. Over the next few weeks, Noah's condition worsened. He stopped leaving his room, stopped playing with his other toys, stopped telling me he loved me. Noah wouldn't even eat on most days. He lost 10 pounds in weeks. I tried force-feeding him, but all he did was scream and fuss. I don't want to eat. I want to play with Pooh. Getting rid of the doll didn't help either. I'd throw it in the trash to only find it removed and back in its place by Noah. The doll started to age dramatically as well. Seams were ripping, dark stains appeared on the doll, and even an eyeball was hanging loosely, like a ball and chain. Dark rings appeared under Noah's eyes, caused by sleep deprivation. I didn't know what to do. The doll was driving me to drink. I dozed off, giving into sleep's tempting offer. With Noah's new diet, you can lose 10 pounds, or 10 diets in weeks. I think he meant 10 pounds, but yeah, with Noah, dude, Noah is a skinny queen. 10 pounds in a week? Or I guess weeks? That's pretty good. Noah, what's your calorie deficit, buddy? Okay. I awoke to a loud thumping noise. It was so dark I couldn't see the hand in front of my face. Thump. What was that? My doorknob rattled and opened very slowly, almost at a turtle's pace. I opened the blind next to my bed, unleashing the moonlight's illuminating presence. The door to my room was open, and something silver glinted in the darkness. I squinted my eyes, hoping to spot something. At that moment, the glint moved. It was moving towards me. I reached over to the lamp and pulled the string down, brightly illuminating the room. A huddled mass was revealed. It was Noah. In his hand, he clutched a Phillips head screwdriver. His eyes opened like two giant almonds. He darted out of the room and into the dark hallway. He dropped something. It was Pooh. Enough's enough. I'm keeping the doll in here from now on. I sat the yellow bear on my nightstand, under the lamp. God, Noah has destroyed the little bear. I'm glad I see, Tiki, you say you've been listening to this like a podcast. I'm glad you're enjoying Bad Creepypasta FM. I'm glad you're liking the experience. Noah bugged me, asking where the bear was. And I always replied, Pooh went back to the 100-acre woods to visit his friends. Weeks went by and Noah's health was improving dramatically. He gained his weight back. The bags under his eyes were going away, and he started eating again. He even started telling me he loved me at night before bed. Oh, he even starting telling me, Grammar! Grammar! I lay on my bed looking over the worn doll. I even picked it up and tossed it back and forth in my hands for a while. I like how this doll feels. Oh my goodness, are you too scared by Winnie the Pooh? Oh my goodness, Bub. Oh, that's so scary. I know that's so scary. Oh, let me give you some cheek rubs because this is... Oh, I'm about to get to the crazy part? Well, steel yourself, Dorian. Steel yourself, baby boy. Okay, it's about to get scary. He says, I'm not looking. I'm covering my eyes with my tail. I'm so scared. Alright. We'll just restart where I was. I lay on my bed looking over the worn doll. I even picked it up and tossed it back and forth in my hands for a while. I like how this doll feels. Despite its aging, the doll was still fuzzy as ever. I started putting the doll into my bag before work. On lunch breaks, I pulled the doll out and stroked its head. I quickly shoved it back into my bag when a coworker would walk by. Eventually, I stopped going to work. I need more time with Pooh. I spent my days clutching the weathered doll in my hands, caressing it, and taking care of it. I love you, Pooh. Dad, there's nothing to eat, Noah would moan. Stupid kid. He's interfering with my time with Pooh. Can't you see I'm busy, you little cretin? Noah would hang his head and scurry back to his room. He doesn't know Pooh. He doesn't know the time needed for you. I started confiscating his VHS collection of Winnie the Pooh, bringing them to my room so I could watch all day and all night. I stopped sleeping. If I slept, Pooh would be angry. I don't want him to be angry. I hadn't even gotten up to relieve myself. My room was blanketed in the putrid smell of feces and urine. I don't care, as long as Pooh is happy. Noah eventually left, but I can't exactly remember when. Was it yesterday? Was it weeks ago? Good riddance. I'm free of him for good. Eventually, my electricity went out. I hadn't paid the bill in months. I'd gone from an 180-pound man to a tiny 100-pound man. As long as Pooh loves me, I don't care. I was forced to eat bugs and rats that unfortunately scurried across my path. The paint on the walls started to peel and mold covering the ceiling. I don't care. I do it for Pooh. He needs my time more than I do. Ooh, that's good. That rhymes. It's like an Edgar Allan Poe poem. Much time has passed and I haven't been in great shape. I think I'm dying. I can't die. Pooh doesn't want me to die. My beard and unkempt hair reach below my chest. My clothes are in tatters. My fingernails have grown unreasonably long. I sing to myself occasionally to please Pooh. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, tubby little cubby all stuffed with fluff. He's Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, willy-nilly silly old bear. There's a knock at the door. People have knocked before, but this knock was persistent. It was hard, but I got up and stood. I looked through the peephole and a man in his late 20s was outside. He knocked again. He shouted something. Dad? Are you in there? Damn! That is a... Oh, wow, that's a fuck shit ending. Like, that's actually... You know what? Initially, some bits of it weren't too great, but overall, I thought that was a pretty good one. That was a pretty good one. That's probably going to be our final one for the night, so thank you, Glimpse of Good, for recommending a good fucking creepypasta, man. Props to you, man. Cheers to you. Cheers to you, Glimpse of Good. Cheers to you. Sorry, I'm taking a look at the chat. TQ, you have the curse of an amazing long-term memory, but your short-term memory is bad. You got the same thing, Glimpse of Good? Dude, it's funny, that makes three of us, because I would say, I mean, my short-term memory is okay, but my long-term memory is, like, really, really good for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I could write a creepypasta about that. Oh, and before I go, glimpse of good. Thank you for the tip. Thief 1 and 2 are on sale on GOG. I might pick them up. I've been thinking about playing Thief for a while, so who knows? Maybe you'll see me play it on stream. I have gotten into a habit of playing older games, haven't I? Oh, TQ, I appreciate you saying that you enjoyed this. And you know what? I will do more stuff like this. This was a lot of fun. And like, obviously, you know, there's plenty of creepypastas that I haven't yet covered, so we got a ways to go, gentlemen. I'm certain we'll all see each other here again. But as for now, I bid you all good night. And don't let the creepy Sonic plushie bite. I kind of like the fact that I play my streams out by just petting my cat. That's unique. That's my thing as a streamer. Just get to pet my cat to play my stream out. But good night, everyone. Thank you for coming.